Good morning, everyone. Pastor Chris here. Welcome to the Poolside Chat. I got a question which I don't know the answer to. I don't know how to answer this. I've been struggling. So hopefully, all y'all can help me with it. We just had an assassination attempt, or whatever you believe. Somebody rushed the Correspondents' Dinner, the Hilton, D.C., where President Trump was going to be and speak. White House Correspondents' Dinner. This perpetrator stated he wanted to kill the president and his administration. He stated that it's because they were evil people and they're irredeemable. How do we get here? How do we get to the point where hurting others, murder, is acceptable? And it's not just this. It's Charlie Kirk. It's the Supreme Court Justice, Brett Kavanaugh. It's these murders and killings, ICE, and hurting others because we can no longer talk. I've thought of two things, and I want to share these with you. But this isn't an answer. It's just an observation. I don't know how we got here. I keep coming back to this is my fault. My generation's fault, our fault. Because it's primarily younger people that do this. Because they think talking is either useless, or they don't know how to talk, or it's not changing. I actually heard somebody say, a Trump hater, somebody say, we have to change the system. And that, the way it was explained is, we can't work with this system. It's just too broken. We can't talk. It's too urgent. Critical theory. You hear critical race theory. I hope you know what critical theory is. It's a critical point in our society where change has to be made right now. That's what critical race theory is. This was a postulate, a philosophy taught in college until critical race theory came along. But this person said, because I said, well, what about the innocent people that get hurt? Well, you have to crack a few eggs to make change. Meaning, you have to hurt innocent people if you want real change. I mean, think on that. You have to hurt, Sorry, not sorry, because we need to change the system. See, I love talking to people who think differently than me because that's how I understand it. Which brings me to the first point that I had. Charlie Kirk. Love him, hate him. There were passions there, absolutely. I've had some friends who say he was not a good person. Doesn't matter. What he did and what he wants to do and what's trying to be continued is to talk. Have a conversation. Convince me why you're right. Explain to me why you believe such and such. That's why I love talking to people who are different than me, different belief systems. because that's how I learn. And then vice versa, how others learn. And I just keep thinking that people have forgotten how to talk. I heard it came out of COVID. That's yesterday. And maybe some of it did because everything was online, everything is text, everything now is remote. And maybe we have forgotten how to engage and talk. We just go into our corners, listen to people like us, and believe that this is reality without exploring and hearing the other side. I'll give you a prime example of what I mean. SeaWorld. When Blackfish came out, now a lot of people think that SeaWorld is wrong and bad and animals in captivity should not happen, let everything go. And Blackfish showed this and showed the abuses that would happen, supposed abuses. And I was told, but they do this and they do that and they do the other and they hurt animals. The other side of the coin. They were the premier rescue organization, still are, for saving animals. They were the premier rescue organization to protect ecology. They're a premier rescue organization to help propagate and preserve the species, marine life, land life. That part was ignored because the only part that people heard was Blackfish. And I remember asking a couple of people, did you ever talk to SeaWorld? It's like, no, they're bad, they're terrible. Why would I talk to them? Because you want to find out the rest of the story. Very, very, very few things are 100% one way or the other. So if you want a whole picture of something, talk to people. And seminary, well, first to continue with SeaWorld, one of the things that I told someone once is they were telling me how bad and awful, and they saw Blackfish and the research and the stories and the people, and I said, that's great, but why wouldn't you look at the other side? Why would you let someone tell you what to think? And this person was aghast that I would say that, thinking, well, they're not telling me what to think. And I said, but of course they are. Because you're not looking at the rest of the picture, the other side of the argument. What else is happening? I said, look at them, talk to them. And this person, I don't know if they did or not, but they were blown away that would even be a consideration you would talk to somebody that bad and evil. Forgot the other point I was going to make. But what I'm saying, and this is why I don't know what we do. Maybe some of this did come out of COVID. Maybe we have lost through COVID, through cell phones, through remote work, through echo chambers, the ability to communicate with others and hear and understand, listen, understand opposing viewpoints and opinions. And try to learn from each other instead of just going right to violence. So I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but I can't, at least right now. So I'll keep looking. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Show me why I'm wrong and show me what to do. And I want to encourage you, talk to those who are different, who hold different viewpoints, different opinions, and let's learn from each other. No Bible verse today, but just a question that I'm searching for an answer for. All right, guys, different. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Pastor Chris, member, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, at FL Compass Church, and now on Instagram, at FL Compass Church. Have a great week. See you Saturday.